Okay, so the next speaker is Mr. Rauf, and Mr. Rauf, you know that the time limit is 2 minutes, and make sure it has to be a clear, persuasive, and convincing presentation. So there you go. You can start now, please.
Assalamu alaikum, myself Abdul Rauf. Hope you all should be doing good. Today, the topic uh, that we are here to discuss is that a nuclear power plant project is about to start in my town, near my town, and before it starts, there are certain points and a very there's a huge discussion going around in the town about it. Some of the people are in the favor and some are just against it. So in regard to that, I want to express my views. Firstly, in my opinion, I'm not in the favor of building the nuclear power plant uh, near my town. I have certain reasons for that. Firstly, um, to start with, I must say that there's strong argument that the opponents that who are in the favor of building this project, they mostly say that this is much cheaper and it is environment friendly and these kind of things. So to counter them, I want to mention that this project is cheaper only when it has been built. So it is a kind of a long term, you can say that you can save, it can be economical for the long term purposes, but when it is built, this project is initiated, it requires a huge amount of investment initially. And I must say that when the people say that it is environment friendly, so I want to make a point that during its production or installation process, there is a huge amount of transportation, huge amount of labor, and different kind of chemicals. These are transported everywhere, and it goes on for a few months. So it pollutes the environment until it has been set up. Now, coming back to my opinion that why I disagree with this project. First of all, there are certain rules and regulations that these kind of projects should not be built in the town or near the town, even near the town. They should be built in far off areas, number one. And secondly, uh, we must think of that if something goes wrong or if there's a kind of accident in this project, the results would be that much that we can't even think about, and we can't overturn this, because when there are radioactive releases, when the radiation releases, it affects far off areas, and not only it affects at that time, but also for many months and years, people suffer with these radiations and like the crops or other things as well. So I must say that these kind of projects should not be built near the cities. They have once they are installed, in case of any kind of failure, any little mismanagement could bring a great loss to life, to the crops, to the farming industries, uh, farmers, and everyone who is affected or who is living near the city. On a whole, I advise the government to launch this project. If they are of the view that they have to launch this project, so they must adopt a suitable place for that. They must acquire a land, and after that, which is free from people. There should be no population on that areas, and then they can start this project. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Just 1 minute, huh? So one student is asking me about the notes. Let me tell you that you have to prepare your own notes. Forget about those days where people would get notes from other people. That is not learning. You make your own notes, okay, if you want to learn. Abdur Rauf Awan, good job. I think you made a very good presentation. It was balanced. The best thing was that in the beginning you provided some good warm up background also. The introduction was good. Your thesis statement was very good. Counter argument were also good, and the conclusion was also very good. Also, apart from that, your language, which includes vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, most of the things were very reasonable. Rather, they were above average. Excellent job, Abdurrauf. Good job. And altogether, you spoke for 4 minutes and 21 seconds, which is also another thing. You can speak at length. That's the most important thing. Good job. Now, two students are done. Number three. Who is number three? Now you will volunteer. Let me see who will volunteer. Abir Arif is ready. Abir Arif. So Abir, now you know two people have set the model for you, so you should be able to align your presentation accordingly. So your time begins now. 1, 2, 3, start.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is Abir Arif. Uh, and I heard that government is planting wind power energy near my town, and I'm not in the favor of wind power energy in my town. Because there are many pros and cons of wind power farms, but in my opinion, cons are more than pros. For instance, wind energy is very unpredictable. The availability of wind energy is not constant, and as far as I know, this area is not that windy that can meet the demand of wind turbines. Secondly, though it is pollution free, but the cost is really high and still they break even after 10 to 20 years. I don't think so that it is not a long term plan for such a high cost. Nextly, if we talk about pollution, there is in fact some noise pollution, but that's not a big problem with offshore wind turbines at all. But it is not suitable in urban environments. Uh, to summarize, if a government want to plant a wind turbine, they should look for a new place. So there is either noise pollution, or the government has a more um, budget for that. Um, Thank you.
Thank you, Abir. Good presentation. You slightly fell short of your time requirement. You were supposed to speak for at least 2 minutes. You finished in 1 minute and 42 seconds. Uh, Overall, it was a good one, but the beginning you had a very sudden start. You know, there was no warm up, there was no background, there was no self intro, topic intro. You suddenly started and jumped into the main topic. That was a bit weird, but then you started developing your argument very well, and your, I think, conclusion was also abrupt. So with the same amount of argument you had, with a slow start, with a better background, with a more detailed conclusion, I think you could have met 2 minutes, and you could improve it. So obviously we are learning, and I think you're learning from this experience. You can do better next time, inshallah. Good job, Abir. Let me see who is number four now. Number four. So Mushtaba, Rauf, and Abir are done, and Rehan, Sayyida Samina are remaining, and Amna Imran. Three done, three remaining. So let me see who is the next one. Come on, take courage. Before I nominate someone, it's better that you choose. But if you don't, then obviously I'll have to nominate one of you. Good job, Amna Imran. Very good. Amna, there you go. You can start now.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to everyone. It's me, Amna Imran, and I'm here to present about nuclear power. I'm in the favor of government should plant more nuclear power plant in our country. Here I will discuss some pros and cons about nuclear power. First, I will discuss about its advantages. Nuclear power protects air quality by producing massive amount of carbon-free electricity. And number two, nuclear power is the largest source of clean energy uh, and most reliable source of energy as it run to as it run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's the main advantage of the nuclear power is create a job uh, about half million job in the US. On the other hand, there are some disadvantages of the nuclear power too. It's it's expensive to build, and it has some impacts on the environment, like radiations, and in the last, it has a limited fuel supply. Yes,
That's it.
yes, sir.
Amna, you had more or less the same issue as Abir had. You tried well, you developed your argument, but things were a bit, underdeveloped, I would say, underdeveloped. So you could have, it's a good thing, you all are learning, you are participating. I must appreciate that you are taking courage, you are trying to speak in English. You are, that's a good performance. But again, I have to highlight the areas you need to work on. So the arguments, I think you need to work on them. To have, when you start a talk like this, you need to have a solid background, a warm up thing, get people ready to be able to entertain what you're going to say, and then you entertain. First, grab the attention of your audience, make sure they're listening to you, make sure they're ready to accept your argument, then you unfold your main argument. In your case and in Abir's case, it happened that uh, you were a bit too quick to jump into the main topic. Anyways, this is a process, and obviously you learn it. Also, you did not meet time limit. You finished in 1 minute and 40 seconds. So you have to slow down. You have to build up things. Hopefully next time you will do better, inshallah. Well done, good job. Now let's me see who is next one. Now two people left. One is Rehan and one is Sayyid Samina. So Rehan, go ahead, Rehan.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Rehan. I am live near the airport area, and recently we have news that government had decided to build a nuclear power plant near the airport area. Although it has a very good space, a large space available over there, but the thing is not good. The I'm totally disagree with the government decision that the power plant built in near the airport area. The biggest drawback of the nuclear energy plant near the this type of area, it's the human health, although human health and the radiation produced by the power plant. This radiation is very harmful for human life, and they can damage human organs as well. And the secondly drawback of the power plant is that when we built a nuclear power near the such type of areas, it may be caused power shortage supply in our area. That's why I'm not agree with the decision of government as well. Definitely, when we built up a power plant near the our living area, it will be of cause to shortage of power supply as well near the area. And it has security threats as well. When we build up nuclear power, it required a lot of security, and that security may be risk in our areas. And definitely when we and the last drawback, I think shortage of fuel near our areas. When the supply of the fuel or to the power plant, definitely it shortage of fuel in our area as well. People often say that nuclear power is safer than the source of energy, but this is not true. It's more dangerous for other species as well, like birds and other animals as well. uh, there are various benefit of the nuclear power plants, but I think there is only one, that is that it provide a low power supply, cheaper energy, and to the our area. This is the only advantage I can see through this project. And finally, and the conclusion is that I am totally disagree with the government that built a plant near such type of area. That's it.
Good
So,
job. 3 minutes and 13 seconds. So the first requirement you met very well. Let me tell you, you seem to be an outgoing person and you spoke well, although from language point of view, there were multiple mistakes. Or maybe I would say that, let me give you an example. Like 3 times you said, first you said I am totally disagree, and then you say I'm totally disagreed, then you say secondly drawback, then you say it may be cause, you say it will be cause, and you say I am not agree. All this shows, and also instead of numerous you say numerous. So there were pronunciation issues, there are grammar issues. You have to take your language seriously because accuracy is a serious problem, although you could speak well. So in other words, you are the one who, if you are given a topic, you can express yourself very well. People will understand what you are saying. People will be moved, people will be convinced, but at the same time people will also know that what you were speaking, it was not flawless, rather it was full of flaws. So this is the factor you must acknowledge. I would say that you met the requirement, you spoke very well. Language is the area you need to work on. Before you, the three speakers, those who spoke, compared to them, you were compatible. Rather, you are a very energetic speaker, but you have many issues with your language. So you have to be careful in the future, and you have to work on that. Now, I think the last speaker is Sayyida Samina. Are you ready, Sayyida Samina?
Yes, Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. Go ahead, please.
Well, I was late in the class, so I don't know what the topic was, but I got some hint. The people were talking about the nuclear power plant, and I think they were discussing about that the nuclear power plant should build in the residential areas or not. What I think the power plants should not be built in the residential areas and congested areas. They should be built for areas from far from areas like the not that were not the residential areas or not very occupied with the people. So it's a great high risk for the people living in that areas, especially it's a high risk for their health. As you know, the nuclear power, the nuclear energy, and raises their damage the health, the people's health. So I think the main topic they were discussing about. So we have to give some suggestions. We are talking about the suggestions the government should build or not. I think they have to take it seriously, or they have not to build like these kind of plants in the area. No one allow, I think, in the like in other countries, that they build these kind of plants in the residential areas, because the people's health and people's security is the main thing they have to consider. So I think they have to take this point in their mind, and then they have to build some plant according to it. I think they've discussed this, like what else I say.
Well done, Samina. I can see that you came late due to whatever issue you mentioned. I don't know about that, but anyways, one thing is very good, that you were quick enough to pick up. You picked up very well. You spoke for 1 minute 45 seconds. I could see very smartly you aligned your topic accordingly. That was very smart of you, that you were able to speak for nearly 2 minutes without even having the background. You picked up. That's a good one. And I
Yes.
could see if you had participated
Thank
from the
you,
beginning,
sir.
you could speak well. But if
Yes,
you have
sir, of
internet
course.
issues, if you have internet issues, you should not realize before the class. You have to fix this problem. This is your responsibility, and there are ways to fix it. So this is no way that
No,
every
sir, it
time.
was
Yeah,
unfortunately. It was unfortunately I joined the class at 12 o'clock by mistaken. If someone see,
I
I
know
joined
that.
the class
I
at
know that,
12,
but
but
this
after
is
the
this is
12,
the thing.
yes,
It's happening every day, and I'm
yes, sir.
badly affected by this, because students keep telling me that they are
Yes,
late
sir.
because
Me
of this. So
too.
you need to find a solution. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, all
Yes,
of you.
sir.
Thank you, Samina, and thank you, all of you. You did a good job. Well done. It was good. I could see that you guys have a lot of potential. If you, unfortunately, in our country, people are not in the habit of uh, doing preparation before they talk. So when I saw this today, you saw this today. If you do a little bit of preparation and you write down some notes, some bullet points, then you can structure your talk very well, and you could be an effective speaker. In the coming days, this presentation will be, the format will be different. Today it's kind of argumentative. You have to convince your audience. Sometimes you will have to convince your audience. Sometimes you'll have to make a scientific kind of thing. From time to time you'll have different assignments, and it'll prepare you, that you, before you speak, you do certain preparation. It'll also guide you, inshallah. I hope you will keep learning this way, keep performing this way, and you will improve your confidence, your language ability, and specifically the style you are expected to improve. Okay, so thank you very much. No, Sayyida Samina, please, you keep asking things which are very old. Samina, please, instead of asking, and now you raise the question here, please. You raise the question here. Don't send me a message. You raise it here in the class and let me respond to it. Sayyida Samina.
Sir, I was saying that you give us a topic for the homework. So you were talking now, no? Because you have to prepare
No,
some
no,
like topic, then you have to
Samina,
speak on
please
it. That's why I was.
don't
Yes, sir.
try to learn it the way people have been learning in Pakistan, for in school and colleges and universities, the way you are recommending.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the right way. That I give you the topic, you prepare. No, we have certain context here. As we had, you join the class,
Okay.
we have the context, we provide you certain language,
Okay.
then quickly you have to tailor it and come up
Mm.
with it. I don't want you to have for
Okay.
2 minutes you have what when I assign, what people do, they go and they Google and they copy and they paste and they read it. I don't want this thing. This is not
Okay.
learning.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
you
Yes, this
have
is
to be part
another
of the
one.
class. You have to
Yes,
be part
well,
of the.
just be. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, this is
please
good, but then people.
be part of the
Yes,
class.
sir.
And
Yes, sir. I agree with.
Samina, please let me speak. Be part of the class.
Okay,
Try to
sir.
understand. Please let me finish. Be part of the class. Try to understand how we are learning. This learning is based on critical thinking. This is not based on rote learning. This is not based on ratta system. Okay, this is,
Okay.
so what you are telling
Yes,
me,
sir.
that is all ratta system, and I don't want that. This is called rote learning, mindless learning. No, this is based on
Mm.
critical thinking. And when you are part of the class, for every activity I will explain, I will help you prepare, then you will do your job, I will do my job. First I will explain, you will listen to me, then you will prepare and I will evaluate. This is how we will be doing it. Okay, if you want to be, if you want to learn and you want to have the benefits for with you all the time. If you simply want to memorize something, you speak it and you forget it, that is what you are referring to. Okay, we don't want that way. So I will explain everything,
Okay,
inshallah.
sir. I'm agree with you.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir. I'm
Thank
agree
you.
with you.
Thank you. Not I am agree with you. I agree with you.
Sorry, I agree with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. All the best. I'll see you next week now. This was the third day. And now, as you know, I have assigned you an online platform. If you don't know about the online platform, then you can let me tell you that you can go to the the English language, channel. Our YouTube channel, and there you can find a video. It's how to get started. There are 3 or 4 videos which will show you how you can learn on your own. So please, the remaining 3 days now, keep preparing, do more listening, more vocabulary work, more grammar work, through technology integration. So I'm sure you will keep yourself busy, and don't waste your time until we meet next week on Monday, inshallah. Okay, so please keep working. Make best use of available technology. There are lots of free resources which are wonderful, which are very good, and you must capitalize on them. Thank you very much, and all the best. Assalamu alaikum.